Hey everybody, welcome to the free video. And today, obviously, huge move in the NASDAQ, backed a lot by Apple. We were looking for upward prices as of last night's video based on the two daily closes above the Bollinger Band on the VIX. Today, the VIX has come down. The stock market had a really solid rally today. This is, of course, the spiders. 0.80%, the NASDAQ having a much bigger move on the back of Apple. So the question is, what happens now? Well, now we're back from a VIX-related standpoint, back to neutral. So a big part, obviously, of this move is Apple. I mean, Apple has just been in beast mode, destroying shorts in its wake. And the trades on it have just been nothing short of astonishing in terms of something like this big, right? That's a huge market cap. And then the volume on it has also been fantastic. If you look at the options here, 105,000 contracts traded today at the 115 strike. And you can see that's actually, I mean, you got 50 cents of premium for an option that expires tomorrow. So very, very fascinating stuff going on in here in Apple. And obviously it's been very good for the NASDAQ. And if we go here and we look at the NASDAQ and look at the Qs here and just looking at key levels, you can see we are very, very close to being back to right up where we started. We blew back up through the 21 period moving average, okay? And if we look at the NASDAQ futures, I've got a lot of levels up there, fib levels. So dink. We have a squeeze here that's about to fire. So for all practical purposes, I'm looking for the NASDAQ to make new highs and continue to frustrate shorts. Pretty amazing stuff. And now if we look at the spiders, of course, they're definitely much more weighed down here. But we can't have a situation where there's, and this is what we've seen all year, there's some sectors that languish and other ones that are kind of ripe for popping here. And that fire line at 48.84 is looking like a great target for the NASDAQ. And then one signal here we continue, this is one we've been trading during the class and in the room, is DEC. Had some very nice signals setting up here against support and huge buy signals here. So looking for a move back to $62 at a minimum on this. Nice move there. And we've seen a couple of other ones like that. We'll review some of those in the premium video as well. Now, one question that always will come up is, what levels to look at? And we've been looking at, obviously for those of you that are working with Carolyn's levels, those are great. If you don't have access to that or it's not sure what the clusters are yet, then there are other different levels. One of them was voodoo lines, and the other one, this is a newer one here that automatically will draw Fibonacci levels for you. And then this is a daily chart of GILD, and you can see here that we kind of came down into this automatically drawn level here. Okay, offering a great support off of a daily chart. And you can see here that we actually came down and touched kind of a voodoo. So you got kind of that nice double whammy combined with buy signals here. So at this point, looking for moves back up into that $80 level. And you can see kind of that trailing Fibonacci extension as this comes down for a target. And you can see here for Apple, you've got the 14.7 or price line, the 1471 level here, and also the 1470.94 level here. So you're actually lining up a voodoo line with this automatically drawn Fibonacci extension, making it that much more powerful. And one thing that's nice is that while the voodoo lines are great, they're not actually available on every stock. It's kind of like looking at the most liquid names and stuff like that. But you can have automatically drawn fib levels on any stock, and you can see here the nice support level that came into play here on ILMN combined with a buy signal. And even on something like a 30-minute perspective or a 5-minute perspective, I still like to look at the voodoo lines. But when I see something like that that's chewing through it, I can come over here to the automatically drawn fib levels and see like, there's a nice level right under here that's taken into account the actual price action here. Combine that with a buy signal and you are off and running. Now, for those of you that are well, if you're newer to our site, or if you have not seen what I'm talking about by those automatically drawn Fibonacci tools, which are pretty cool, I'm going to be doing a free webinar next Tuesday, or I guess this upcoming Tuesday, September 20th from 7 to 8 o'clock Central, which of course is 8 to 9 o'clock East Coast time. You can go to simplertrading.com/triple. You'll get to this page and you can put in your name and your email address and you'll get all the notifications you need to go to this free webinar. What we're going to be talking about here is what I would call these essential new timing indicators by David Starr, if you're familiar with his work. So the whole idea and the whole concept of this is just saying, hey, what if we could automatically know when and where any market is likely to turn in advance? Okay, that's the whole concept of this stuff, because we've seen these huge volatile environments, right? And this is what David specializes in. We're very familiar. I think a lot of you are familiar with the voodoo lines. If you're not, we'll talk a little bit about those as well. But he's also been developing two very new powerful indicators. One of them is the RAF, Ready, Aim, Fire, which we've been talking about in our recent class, but a new one that he is releasing this week after a lot of testing, and I've had a chance to test it out, and it's been great, especially for intraday trading as well as swings. It's called the Dyna Range Indicators, okay? And with this, it's very, very good about picking up precise turns. Obviously, if it's in conjunction with voodoo lines, that's great, but if you don't have voodoo lines, it's great, and also there's going to be some markets that actually don't have the voodoo lines on there, okay? Very, very cool stuff. So again, just go to simplertrading.com/triple, and we will be doing the free webinar Tuesday, 7 to 8 o'clock Central Time, and looking forward to seeing you there.